Hello students of ITSC 249 Database Programming at El Centro College. In this video I will walk you through the steps you need to take to install WAMP, Windows Apache MySQL PHP suite. This is something that we'll be using later in the semester, but it's always good to get started. I have included not only this video, not this video, but the one I'm recording now. I've also included the links to where I'm getting the software, although from eCampus you can get everything in one nice big zip file, which is what I'm going to download here. I'm going to click on that, wait for that to kind of load a little bit. It's 224 megs, shouldn't take too long, less than a minute. While this is happening, I guess I could try to see if I could find it in the folder. And as soon as it gets in, I'll unzip it and begin to extract and install. So the download is completed and WAMP files are here. This includes, extract all into the same folder. This includes, this software includes the WAMP server, which is our main goal. It also includes the Visual C++ libraries that the program requires to run, and it also has Notepad++, and this is a text editor which you might want to install or check out. It doesn't really matter what you use, it's a personal preference. I like Notepad++ better than the other ones, so that's what I'm using, just in case you want to have the same program that I do, which is fine. By the way, most everything that I am downloading, at least for myself, will be 64-bit. If you have an older computer, and I couldn't tell you how old it needs to be to not be 64-bit, but if you've had your laptop for more than 5 years, you might want to search for 32-bit installers. I have included some of them here. You can tell that this is a 64-bit installer because it has x64, like this one does. x86 means it's a 32-bit file. So before I get started with installing the WAMP server, which is this big file right here with the W icon, I want to install these two other files. And I will install both 64 and the 32-bit because it just seems to work better when I do that. And so I'm not going to stop installing both of them right now. I'm going to start with the 64 since that's what my system runs. So this is the Microsoft Visual C++ 2012. This is the, I do believe, a 2014 update. And, well, actually, I guess I already have it. So I'll click on Repair. In case you do have it already, this would be check out what you got. And if there's no issues, there shouldn't be any problem. Click on Close. And I'm going to go to the 32-bit, that's the x86 file right here. Double click, tell it to repair. I guess I already had that. And now that's being installed, or repaired, or checked. I'll click on Close. And I guess with some confidence, I can now go to the WAMP server install. Double click on that. I'm going to close a couple of, maybe both of these folders, just to have more space on my screen. I can see that it's still working, maybe. There it is. And it's asking me for permission. So yes, I want to install this. I will use English as my language. This is French software, by the way. If you do follow the links originally set on that eCampus page, you will notice that this is hosted in France. I'm going to accept the agreement. Click on Next a couple of times. And the only changes that I'll make is, rather than WAMP 64, just because I've used to using just WAMP, I'll rename that to WAMP. Click on Next. And I'll do the same for the shortcut. I'll just select all of this and call it WAMP. Next. And install. And somewhere in here, yes, I'm still running this on my page. These are the links that I was talking about while that's installing. The WAMP server is this French page. You do get an English translation, but If you wanted to download the 32-bit, you would just scroll down and find the 32-bit right here. If you wanted to see where the Visual C++ libraries are, this is a Microsoft page. And this actually would take you to the Download Center, and it would tell you a little bit of what this is. And just to let you know that you want it in English, and you click on Download, and it will show you all of these files. Here's the 64-bit and the 32-bit. There's also an ARM feature, and I don't think that anybody's got an ARM computer. If you do, give me a call. Let's talk. Notepad++, you can also find it directly. This is an open source file, and like I said, it's very handy. I'll just close this stuff right now. I don't need it open. And I'll minimize to see what's going on with WAMP. WAMP, last time that I installed it, and maybe you've already seen another video that was made in Windows 7. This is Windows 10. It takes a couple of minutes, so I'll spare you my commentary and pause the video, and I'll come back when this is finished. Okay, I'm back. This is almost done. Let's see what happens after this. It's, extracting all the files, and hopefully that means that it's almost ready to start to install. Lots of graphics there, lots of little icons. WAMP is run on web pages. So most everything you do, I wish that we had a command line that we could use, a Linux server that we could actually have access to. But WAMP is fairly good, and we'll be installing other software that's going to allow us to open and work with databases. WAMP is exclusively used in controlling databases and web pages. It's all an online environment. Sort of an introduction to AWS, Amazon Web Services, if you will. I may have underestimated how long this was going to take, so I'll just pause this again and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so it's finished extracting. Didn't take that much longer. It's asking me a couple of things. Do I want to use Internet Explorer as the default web browser for WAMP server? And the answer is no. So yes, I want to choose another browser. Click on yes there. I'll click on my program files, go into the Google folder. Here is Chrome. There's the application, and here is the Chrome browser. I don't necessarily want to use Notepad. I want to use Notepad++. I'm not sure that I've necessarily already installed it here. So if I were to look on their program files, let me see if I find Notepad++. Not yet. Not here. And probably not here either. Oh, there it is, Notepad++. So I'll choose that one and open it and let it finish. Finishing installation. My goal is to have this video run less than 10 minutes. We're still under 9. So what do I want to block from Apache? Apache is going to be the server program that actually simulates connecting to the internet without having to. I don't necessarily recommend that you go to Starbucks or McDonald's or somewhere with free Wi-Fi and work on it. So I'm going to say let's not communicate in public networks, but private networks like the ones you use at home or work, let's do that. Allow access there. And we're nearing the end. Just waiting, hopefully, for the last verification. And in case you were wondering why we installed those two first files at the beginning, this gives you a little bit of information. There's also tells you that you are going to be the root user. That's your username. And no password. Click on next, and we're done. I'll click on finish. And now I have a nice icon that I can double click and say yes. By all means, run this program. and you'll see a DOS window pop up and say I'm doing something. And at the bottom here, this is our WAMP access. It's green, so it tells me that it's started all the services. Some of the services that we'll be using will be, for example, the local host, which is where your web page can be published. PHPMyAdmin is going to be a tool that we'll be using a lot in this class. And we have Apache, which is once again the server, HTTPD. We have the PHP manager, and most importantly, MySQL has been installed. If the icon is green, that means that your services are running and you're doing great. If you click on the icon, you'll get one menu. If you right-click on the icon, you'll get a separate one. We'll talk about all this as we keep on going in the class. I'm going to exit this for now. It doesn't need to be running all the time. Whenever we do other assignments, I'll tell you when to turn it on and when you can turn it off. So, sorry, the video was actually more than 11 minutes, but we got it all done in about the same amount of time. By the way, for your assignment, since I already closed this, I'm going to run it again. What I would like for you to do is to get a screen capture of, let's see, what did I say in the last video? Not necessarily PHPMyAdmin, but let's click on the local host, and this will give me all the options that the WAMP server has. It tells me that it's in your computer on localhost and that you have all your stuff here ready to go. So do a screen capture of this, turn this in, let me know that you have the latest version. You know, maybe I can even see what kind of system you have. You have a 64-bit or a 32-bit. So this completes this project.